it's no secret to our listeners that we are a footy and cricket podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You agree with that just from the get-go?
I can wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
Cool. So with that in mind, just want to get your thoughts, just want to run something past you.
Yep.
What do you reckon Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy will be?
His legacy?
Yeah.
His the celebration thing when he free kick when he stands like that thing.
Oh, like wide.
Yeah, that's his sort of trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, you went with that over Muchas gracias, afición. Esto es para vosotros. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Fine Leg to Full Forward. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well. How are you, mate? That was look, I'm blown away. Honestly, I reckon I'm honestly lost for words.
Look, I'd like to apologise to headphone users.
Yep. That's
I hope their ears are okay. Yeah, just getting the swing of things with the FIFA World Cup.
Oh,
starting.
Yeah, true.
Should have started by now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. We're a cricket footy podcast.
Yep. From a long time ago.
I'm trying to think of whether I'd put your Cristiano Ronaldo impression over your impersonation of a duck. I'm not sure because your duck is very good.
I have done the duck on the show before.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. They're both. Maybe you should put it to the listeners and see what he reckons better: his Cristiano Ronaldo, or his duck. Both very good.
Or hey, it's Adele.
Okay. You always give me shit for my Adele.
Yeah, because I can do an Adele impression. You can't do an Adele impression.
Hey, it's Adele.
That was actually better.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't worse. what do you reckon? What would you say your best impression is?
Impressions,
excluding Batman. We've heard it all before.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm not really great at impressions. That's more my brother's wheelhouse.
Impressive impressions.
Yeah. Is it worth plugging him? He doesn't do anything anymore.
Oh, well then no.
Yeah.
Unplug.
Yeah, unplug. I'm more just like accents, mate. You know me.
Yeah. You don't have a single
off the cuff. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the ones that Naveen does, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe each time he does it, I'm like, oh well, I could probably do that, but it's like I don't know if I could.
Well, I guess with all this rambling, we'll never know. Or are you building up to an impression? Or you're just sort of dancing around the issue?
Well, I could try a Peter Griffin.
I mean, that's bold. You can if you want.
It's bold, is it?
It is. It's bold.
Fuck.
It's bold.
I should have started with something else.
No. Go for it. All or nothing on this show.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. What would Peter say?
Hey, Brian.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst impression I've heard.
Okay.
No, that's not bad.
We'll take it.
Slide into our DMs. What impression is your best? What's your go-to?
What's your go-to?
Which impression are you known for?
Everyone's got one that they can do.
Or three.
Oh, three. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Julia Gillard. Let's move Australia forward.
Of course. I forgot about Julia. Now it's like, I don't know whether to put that in this, if I had to rank that with the Cristiano Ronaldo and the Duck. And yeah, I don't know where to put them and where it fits.
Well, I think that's one for the listeners to ponder for the rest of their days. Okay, so running it back, I feel like it's been quite a chaotic start to this episode. So we're gonna bring back a bit of normality with the start of Run It Back.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, we tackle the big news week in, week out.
We've mentioned this before.
Today is no exception.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
I'm gonna trust in you to keep the normality for a little while, I'm going to hand
Yep.
all over to you.
Yep. So the Cricket World Cup and the FIFA World Cup currently happening right now, which is great. But we're going to fuck that off just for this episode, I think. Just because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the Cricket World Cup finish?
Has it?
Yeah, I think it has.
It has finished.
It's finished.
It's just finished.
So we're going to fuck it off even more.
We're going to fuck it off. And let me tell you what I've been doing for my old man.
Please do. Please. Please. The listeners are dying to know. I'm
Yes.
dying to know.
You're dying to know.
I am.
So, I'm not sure if everyone else has sort of experienced this. Growing up, you've got lots of home videos around the place, right? Had the old camcorder from back in the day, and they made little tapes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Convert all those tapes to VHS tapes so you can sit back and chuck it in, you can watch them, you can relive those memories, and then the VHS goes out of date and you go, oh, we're going to convert all these VHSs to DVDs. So we did that, converted all of them to DVDs.
That's good because DVDs aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So we did that in the nick of time, got them all done, converted to DVDs, and then sort of got to a point where, DVDs, yeah, look, they're not exactly the future.
Mm.
So I know Dad's been sort of wanting for a while to sort of get all these memories stored permanently so that they can't really go anywhere, just in case, the DVDs can go off, whatnot, but on a cloud somewhere in a storage space.
That's a very responsible thing to want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I thought I'd treat the old man, and I've been going through a whole bunch of DVDs of the original sort of home videos from us growing up back in the day, back in Inverloch and this and that. And it's been a long, tedious process. But while I was doing that, I thought, well, I ran across one particular home video where I was playing cricket down in Invi.
That's the cue that we're a cricket podcast.
Yes, yeah. I was playing cricket. I was wearing white clothes.
Sorry. Hey, yo. Oh, sorry, I think they said white people clothes.
No. Well, kind of. I mean,
well,
yeah. But it's just it wasn't anything spectacular. It was, I know, this is very early on when I was under 14s down in Inverloch.
Mm.
And it was just some, like, Dad would sit in the car and it would just like stick it on the steering wheel. And then just like you could just sort of see, and he'd like pan it across, try to get me bowling, and
like following the run up.
Yeah, from right to left sort of thing. But yeah, I was like, hey, that's something that we could definitely talk about. Like, not going through home videos, but it got me thinking about childhood cricket memories, because we have shared memories on this show before, playing together and this and that, but I feel like there's always going to be some untold stories, and there's always, especially from childhood, like there's things that you just forget about.
Absolutely.
So thought today would be a nice way to run it back through some of the glory days.
Yeah, literally, literally down memory lane. It's not something we do quite often. Just again, that word was memory lane. That's what I was aiming for. Memory lane. So junior cricket memories. Do you want me to go first?
Kick it off, mate.
Right, okay. So I remember this was still in the UK. This particular story.
Yeah.
Under 13s. Now I was given out caught behind, and I was really confused as to why. Right? I didn't understand it. I got quite upset. Didn't argue it.
Okay, you didn't argue it.
And this was in the days of where you didn't just get out and walk off, like you were batting in pairs. So we got out and we like swapped to the other end.
Yeah, you lose 5 runs or something?
Yeah. I can't remember what. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was given out, was quite confused, quite upset, walked up to the other end, didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And was before I'd heard of a particular rule.
Uh-huh.
Not something I'd ever come across before.
Right.
And I was gesturing to my dad on the sideline. I'm like, I didn't hit it. Like, that shouldn't be out. It hit my glove.
Yeah.
Not my bat. That was before I knew that you could get caught off your glove. I didn't know that.
If you're holding the bat.
Yeah. If you're holding the bat, correct. See, I still don't know the rules.
Were you holding the bat?
I was holding the bat, yeah.
Okay. Well, then I can't help you out there, man.
Nah,
sorry.
thank you. I appreciate you trying. I appreciate you trying. It's just one of those things, though. Like, it's quite common, especially in a game that's as complex as cricket.
Yeah.
To come across those kind of rules, it's kind of through your own experience.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's very much like certain things is like you can get a basic understanding of how the game's played, but then you can always go deeper and deeper into it.
Yeah. I mean, we still can. I don't fucking know Duckworth Lewis still.
Yeah, absolutely. And even, what was it during the World Cup with what was it with the no ball? The keeper's gloves come in front of the stumps.
Yeah, it's a no. Yeah,
it's always a no ball. Like even if it doesn't, even if it's not.
Because they were checking. They were checking to see if the batsman had nicked it first.
Yes.
And it's like, well, why are you going to check that? Why would you not go straight to side on?
So the thing, yeah.
If it's a caught behind, can your gloves be slightly in front of the stump?
Yeah. So even stuff like that, it's like I don't know.
Mm.
We don't pretend to know it all on this show,
don't we? No, we probably don't. We probably don't.
Nah, I think we're very open and honest about how little we know on this show.
Yep. No, that's a good point. And that's very cloudy day back in the UK. I learned something then. And if you didn't know that rule already,
no, you know.
You're welcome. And
you're welcome.
That's a surprise that you wouldn't know that. You got one?
I do have a childhood memory. I've got a couple. Both. A couple of times that my first experiences of getting hit in the nether regions.
In the nether regions?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It is. Have you ever been hit in the nether regions when batting?
I think I have been hit in the box before, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
It is a dark world.
Yeah. It is. It's not fun, no matter what hits you there.
Yeah. So one time it was at training and I had my junior Kookaburra, the Kookaburra Magic. That was my first bat.
Right.
Signed by Ricky Ponting. It wasn't signed by Ricky Ponting, but it had the sticker that said it was signed by Ricky Ponting.
So it's a Kookaburra Magic.
Yeah.
What was, let us know in the comments, what was your first cricket bat?
Yeah, what was your first bat?
Mine was an SS Jumbo.
SS Jumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let us know. It's very interesting. I mean, you never forget your first.
No, of course. So this was at training. And it was someone that was bowling like, it wasn't express by any means, but they were like mediums.
Yeah.
And I think I'd forgotten my box or I left it at home or something. And I was like, oh, that's all right. I'll just like sort of stand away and like just reach for the ball and stuff or whatever, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, yikes.
And then went to, like, I was like, yeah, as long as I'm like away, like, you know, when you start to back away and you just like play away from your body.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, no worries. And it's like just medium pace, stepping away, tried to like hit one through the offside, inside edge straight onto the nuts. No box.
Oh.
And that was, tell you what, the first, I'm not sure if anyone's sort of experienced it. I know, Beano definitely would have.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, broken box.
Broken box, that wasn't fun.
It's a very surreal, strange experience because it's not painful immediately. It's not just like a knife or something. It's like, not that I know how it feels like.
That's my follow-up question.
but it's like immediately it's kind of numb, and then it's like, and then it's like something's there. Then the pain's like it's like a creature or something, and it's like slowly crawling up, and it's like starts down here and it like slowly crawls up your tummy. And then it just stays in your tummy, and you just want to hunch, and you just want to crawl into a ball, and then just stay down in that position for as long as possible. It is a nice childhood memory of mine. Yeah.
Ah, right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
For the gents listening,
Yeah.
if you could try and come up with a better description of how it feels to get hit in the nuts than the beautiful way the Astro just put it, please do let us know.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I'm having a real hard time disagreeing with you there.
Yeah, it's numb followed by a creeping pain that sort of works its way up into its tummy.
Yeah, thanks. Once more for the gents at the back.
Yeah. Happy to put that in, what is it, WebMD or whatever it is. That's a definition of I don't know, call it whatever you want, but yeah.
All right, okay. I've got another one, if that's all right. One that's definitely been told on this pod before, and one that's, I suppose it's just out of shot now.
Oh, yeah.
The last ball of the under-17 twos grand final. So I was trying to think of a cricket memory before playing with you, and then with playing with you.
Yeah.
So the last ball of the under-17 twos grand final.
Yeah.
Right. Now, a lot of you would know this story. You think I'd be sorry for telling it again, but I'm not.
You're not sorry.
I'm not. So yeah, we have mentioned it. We came from nowhere. We came from absolutely nowhere. We were chasing. We were defending 156 or
something like that,
mid 150s.
Yep.
And Berwick were chasing. They were chasing. I don't know. They were tracking pretty well. They were none for 70. They lost their first wicket at 70.
Yep. I think the opener retired on 50.
Opener retired, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he came back in at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came down to the last ball of the 45th over, the last ball of the last over.
Yeah.
They needed 2 to win. We just needed a dot or better. What's better than a dot?
Yeah.
A wicket. What does this man do? Yeah, he gets a wicket. He puts it on the bloody exact spot he needs to. A snick off to the keeper behind the stumps, the
Benny
skipper.
Swift.
And the perfect delivery. We won. I remember because we were the only junior side that made the granny that year, so we had
a lot of people.
Watching.
Yeah.
And there's a photo. There's a photo I had from the moment we won, or the moment just after we won, and we're all on we're piling on each other, and then all the boys from the other under-17s teams are running on to jump on us as well.
Yeah.
It's such a sick photo. You've got the poor Berwick bloke who was just off to the side slightly, looking so disappointed. You've got us piling on, and you got all our mates jumping, running to jump on the pile.
Weren't they still running? I remember because the umpire didn't signal it out.
Yeah,
and they kept running.
No, the umpire did signal it out.
Oh right,
but they didn't see it, so they started running, and then AWOL came on. He started yelling at us bro, it was out. And he went, oh, okay. Then we just went back to jumping on each other.
I remember I didn't lose my sunnies, but my sunnies came off at some point.
My glasses came off as well. Yeah. Big time.
Nuts.
You took 3 for that day.
Was it 3 for?
You did? No, you did. You took 3 for. You took
3 right.
for. You've always, you've criticised yourself for not taking many wickets, but you always come good in the finals. Always manage to pop up and take a couple.
At the right time.
Yeah.
I got another memory for you. This was the year before.
Oh, so the first premiership you won.
Yes. Okay. So 17 threes.
Yep.
And this was in the semi.
In the
semi.
Yep.
I think it was at Keysborough.
Yeah, somewhere that way.
Yeah, might have been.
Yep.
But it was early on in the game. We were bowling first. And I loved, for some reason, I don't know why, but I just always loved fielding at gully.
Yeah.
I don't know when this fascination with gully started, because I used to do it down in Invi as well. I used to do it when I was playing seniors cricket. I'd always just I'd go to point, and then I'd work my way point, and then I'd be few steps. Yeah, this feels right. And it just felt nice. And I don't know what it was, if it was at late edges or just anything slightly open the face or whatever it was about it. But I love that spot.
When was the last time you fielded a gully? I don't remember you doing it all that much for the Pels.
Only when I'm injured. No, I don't know.
Good answer.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved fielding at gully. And this was, can't remember if this was the first over. It was very early on in the game, first couple of overs. And I think Travie J was bowling.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a.
No, I don't think he was there that year. We didn't play with him that year. Is the picture up there?
Wasn't Travie J?
No, he was there for that one. He wasn't there for that one.
Ah.
Would have been someone else.
I can't remember who was bowling.
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, right. If you were bowling that day. I don't remember.
I wonder who it would have been. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So it was a thickish edge,
mm-hmm.
And it stayed very low.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those ones where normally in cricket you're taught when you catch, you let the ball come to you because you got to have soft hands. You don't attack. Yep. You don't go towards the ball.
Yep.
This is one of those ones where it dies on you, and if you don't go towards the ball, it's going to hit the ground.
Yep.
So I remember falling forwards and taking it and just sliding my fingers underneath it, and then rolling, somersaulting, and taking that catch at gully.
I do remember the catch. It was a ripper catch. So, sorry, the memory you've chosen from junior cricket of us playing together is you taking a screamer at gully.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But I think it was a couple of overs later.
I think it was the next over, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Might have been.
Exact same spot, exact same ball, another thickish edge. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm in again. So I go forward again.
With more arrogance this time.
With a bit more, oh, yeah, I've done this before, yeah. It dies on me. And then I pull out at the last second. I'm like, nah, I can't. And then it bounces, and I'm not prepared. So it bounces, and then it hits me in the nuts.
You had to go off, didn't you?
I had to go off.
Yeah.
I had to go off, and it was that same creature, mate, just crawling up into your tummy. It's probably on WebMD by now.
Yeah, it would be for sure. Yeah. So both your stories are scrotal related.
Yeah. I just thought, it's kind of thematic. Just keep it on theme. But I had to go off. You remember me going off, but you were like, "Oh, was it your back, or was it like?"
Well, I mean, not quite remembering a story in full.
Yeah.
Knowing you now.
Yeah.
I made the connection.
Yeah.
It's just the wrong connection. You can't blame me for that, though, surely.
Okay, so getting forward now. Enough reminiscing about the glory days, mate. Enough about the past. I want you to get forward now and think about if let's say you had hypothetically, you had a child, right?
Okay.
Okay. You're a dad now.
Right, okay.
Yeah? Do you want to let that sink in for a little bit, or?
I'm over the moon with that.
Yeah?
Thought. Yeah.
You sound like you are.
Yeah, no. Yeah, sign me right up for that.
Let's say your hypothetical child, right?
Okay.
Only enjoys watching and playing one sport. Would you prefer that sport to be cricket or footy? If you could choose.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
So, what watching and playing, or watching or playing? What would
and
watching
so
and okay.
Like they love the sport, but they don't like the other one,
right?
Or many other sports at all. Look, it's possible that they won't like any sport, but this question, given we're a cricket footy podcast, is.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I guess. I feel like I'm much more emotionally invested when I'm watching the footy.
Yes, I'd agree. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's no debate there at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure the listeners would know. So maybe I'd say footy based on like watching it.
Yeah.
With this non-existent child.
Because it would be more like getting around that sort of. It's almost like a cultural sort of. Like there's more of a cultural tie to it. Like with the cats and this and that, and then like I'm
much more into like watching the footy with my dad than I am watching the cricket with him.
Yeah,
that's much more.
Yeah, it means a lot more.
I just base it on that.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
This non-existent child.
Yeah. It's hypothetical. Yeah.
How about you? What would you say? You definitely say cricket.
Yeah, I definitely say cricket.
Sorry, I realised I both asked you and answered for you.
Answered for me. Answered on my behalf. Yeah. Answered on my behalf for my hypothetical child.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not that I obviously don't. I mean, I love footy as well.
Yeah.
But just cricket is just, to me, has always been my favourite sport.
That's fair.
Just love the game. And I don't know if it's necessarily playing or watching, but just like having it there in the background, even if you're doing other stuff or whatever, and just having very gentle commentary or whatever, and then sometimes commentators not saying anything at all and then occasionally chirping up. There's something about that feels like home. So I feel like that would be my answer.
Nah, beautiful. Beautiful. Love your work, mate. Love it.
Switch on.
Couple of questions for you, as always.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, we're off to a flyer.
We are.
Switch on is off to a flyer.
We have
I'm
switched
actually
on.
not feeling well. We don't have our mugs here. That
is
I'm stressed now.
Off-brand.
It's also taken us far too long to notice that they're not there.
Yeah, I'm suddenly thirsty.
Yeah, no, me too.
Just because I know that they're not there.
You know that it's not an option.
Yeah,
that option's been taken away from you.
When it's all mind games. But anyway, questions for me?
Well, yeah, I suppose I'll follow up with. I guess that was question one. How are you? Question 1.5 or so.
Mm-hmm.
How many combined overs did we bowl the very first time we played club cricket together? So I think we played school cricket together first.
Yes, it would have been at the start of year 9. Yeah,
but club cricket.
How
many overs did we combine for?
Okay, 17 threes.
17 threes. The 10th of October, 2010.
2010.
What? 10.
Oh, wow. Jeez, how did that never click?
I was going to say, I'm like, wait, no, that can't be right. But no, it is.
We got to do something about that. Like
10.
Yeah,
no, we do.
We've been playing cricket with each other since 10.
That's crazy.
That is very cool.
We're going to workshop that.
Yeah.
We probably won't hear from them.
Yeah, you won't. But we're going to workshop it though. Yeah. What was I saying? I got no idea.
How many overs did we combine for? 17. So round 1 of 17 threes.
Look, we would have been first or second change. Both of us would have been first or second change. Probably second change. No.
Nope.
Third change.
No. I think you were first change.
I was first change.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the max? Isn't it like 8 overs per person?
I think in juniors it might be 6.
Really?
Maybe it is 8.
I don't know. Let's just say I bowled. Let's say we bowled 4 each. 8 overs combined.
We combined for 2.5 overs.
What?
Yep. So it was the first round, so no one bowled over 3. You remember G Train?
Yeah.
He took 3 for 3 off 3 overs.
What? Yeah. On the 10th of the 10th of the 10th?
Yep. So I looked this up, prepping for this episode. You were 2 overs, but none for 2. So going a casual 1 and over.
1 and over, yeah.
I bowled 3 balls, 1 for none.
Oh, you got the last wicket?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
2.5 overs.
I was worried that you were going to say I broke down halfway through an over because I got injured or something and then I couldn't, so it was 2.5 overs because of that.
Yep. Yeah. Fun fact. No, I won't get into that. Don't worry.
What?
I'll tell you off air. Don't worry.
Okay, all right.
Question, I guess, 2.5?
Yeah.
This kind of makes sense, I think. So I think it's on theme for today's episode.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you'd ever see yourself coaching junior cricket?
As like one of the dads or whatever at the club?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'd have to be one of the parents. Is it weird if you're not? No, it's not weird if you're not a parent.
I guess it's not.
Doesn't have to. Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be.
More often than not, it is, isn't it? But I don't know. Like, I would love the teaching aspect of it, and then watching someone develop and grow.
Mm-hmm.
I would detest the controversy that comes with like, well, when you're an umpire and you have to like make decisions and then other parents are yelling at you and stuff like that. And then selection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Batting
parents are
orders
yelling at you.
who
Batting
bowls
orders. Wouldn't want to deal with that shit. So I feel like maybe like do you remember Ken back in the day?
Whoa.
17-2s?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I reckon something like that. Is Kenny in the...
He's there. He's not there.
Good old Kenny. Yeah.
What if he's still kicking?
Good old Kenny. Yeah. Because he didn't, wasn't involved in selection or anything, but he just sort of on his own, he'd just rock up and help us out with the nets and stuff like that. So I reckon something like that I'd love to do.
That's cool. So everyone would just be kind of wondering who invited you.
Yes, pretty much.
Like we wondered that about
Kenny.
About Ken.
I loved old Ken. Ken was great. I would always bowl better when Ken was around.
Yeah.
What's your answer to that question? Do you reckon you'd ever coach junior cricket?
Sorry, my mind was elsewhere. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I remember Dad was wanting me to sort of help him out. It's like both of us, kind of like him coaching it, but kind of both of us coaching.
Yeah,
like
okay.
Under 11s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to do that with him, but nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't reckon so.
Fair enough. It's definitely not for everyone.
Nah, absolutely not. And yeah, you didn't make it sound appealing in the slightest with the very good points that you raised.
All right, my question's for you.
Please.
I've got 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, we'd have time?
Maybe I'll cut one of them out.
No.
Question 1. Do you remember the first time you got out and how were you dismissed?
I actually don't. I actually don't remember. Okay. I reckon it was probably bowled though.
Yeah, okay.
The earliest dismissal, I guess it might be the earliest memory I have of cricket, was that caught off the glove and not realising.
Yeah, okay.
That's it wouldn't have been the first.
Yeah.
But that's the earliest one I can remember.
Yeah, okay.
No, but I probably bowled.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's fair enough. I was
got hit in the nuts.
Yeah, and I just walked off. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
It's like
mode of dismissal. The 11th. There's not 10 ways. There's 11 ways of being dismissed in cricket. Yeah.
It's like the leaving game. Oh fuck! It's made contact with my box, guys. I've got to go.
I do remember it actually. I was both bowled and caught behind.
You were sorry. Okay, so the first time you got out, you were bowled and caught behind.
Yes.
How?
So I remember because I don't think I was very young. I'm not sure if I was actually supposed to be playing that day or not because Naveen was playing. My older brother was playing, and I don't know if I was just at the ground because he was playing. I don't know if they needed an extra player or something, but right. I remember because I was wearing shorts. So I walked out to the middle in shorts because I needed another batter. And I put on someone's pads. I don't think I had a box.
On brand.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember walking out in shorts. Very first ball, I got clean bowled.
Okay, where's the caught behind coming?
And then so I started walking off.
Right.
Because I was like, oh yeah, that means I'm out. So I started walking off in my shorts. And I don't know if everyone just felt bad for me or they were like, because I was like a little kid and they were like, nah, come back out, mate, come back out. So they brought me back. But it wasn't a no ball or anything. It was just they felt bad, I think. And so I came back out. And then the next ball was like I think I tried hitting it, swing and a miss, and the keeper missed it. So it was like 2 byes. So ran up and ran back on strike.
Yeah, you've done your part there.
Yeah.
A couple of byes.
And then the very next ball caught behind. So there you go. That was the first time I was dismissed.
The first 2 times?
First 2, yeah. 2 and 1.
There you go.
Do you remember your first wicket? Because I don't remember my first wicket.
No, yeah. There's been so many over the years.
It just gets, yeah. All
right. The door was there. The door was open.
Question 2. I want you to compare tea time in the UK compared to tea time in Australia. Like, what's the spread like at tea time? Was there a difference? Was it the same growing up to here, or what?
How do you imagine an English tea at an English cricket club?
Just scones.
Just scones.
Just scones.
Just scones. Well, then there's no difference.
Oh, okay.
No, there is. At least the cricket club that I was at when I was younger. The thing that you've got to pay, so you can either bring your own or you pay.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was like a different clubs do it differently.
Yeah,
it was like a buffet type thing.
Yeah,
there was like scones and like mini sandwiches and cakes and things like that. Everything you kind of expect of an English cricket club.
Yeah.
They're like the stereotype holds up.
Yeah.
But we never really, because me and my younger brother would go and watch Dad play on a Sunday, and we'd be just at the ground all day.
Yeah.
And we'd never pay. We'd always have the car full of food.
Yeah. Wouldn't. Yeah, you've already brought your own stuff anyway.
But then because we never got any of it, looking at it all set out, you're like, this looks like the best fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, because you don't have it.
Because you don't have it. It's just like,
it's
there.
Yeah. No, it's good. Question 3. What's the furthest you ever travelled to play a game as junior cricket back in the day?
Probably not as far as you.
Yeah, okay.
Out in South Gippy.
Yeah.
I was looking this up the other week because I remember going to the ground with my dad to watch him play. I remember just being in the car and being like streets, like country roads.
Yeah.
Just thinking, we've been in the car for ages. And I looked up one of the cricket clubs that I remember, and it was like 10 miles away. I was like, what? That's like, what? How has that happened? So I think it would probably be about 10 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Not far at all. Not far at all.
Wow.
That's crazy. You were going a fair way.
Yeah. I mean, even just the way that we played in the LDCA, which is the Leongatha District Cricket Association. And certain years, like Invi, we'd play I remember we played Kui Rup. And it's like it's a fair hike.
Yeah.
At least, an hour and a bit or so.
Jesus.
Or Country Week back in the day was, but that was more it wasn't we'd stay there for a week.
Right.
It was the level below Gippsland, like Country Week. So we'd verse the other regions. So LDCA, our region, we'd pick a side for the best 11.
Yeah.
And then we versed the other regions around.
Good on you, mate. Good on you.
Oh, thanks, mate. But that was out in, I think it's Traralgon or something like that. So an hour and a half or so.
Fuck.
But yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of what I expected, but it's still crazy to think about an hour and a half to drive to cricket.
Yeah.
We complain about driving out to Berwick.
Well, yeah, now we do, right?
Yeah. Fuck, how spoiled we've become.
Times have changed.
I don't know if I've said it yet, but that sting is my favourite one yet.
You have mentioned it.
I have.
Once or twice or 3 or 4 or 5 times.
But on the pod?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Well,
actually, no, I don't think you have mentioned on the pod.
Oh, well, that's my favourite sting yet, I reckon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Umpire's call. I'm not going to explain it again. You've had a couple of weeks to get your head around it.
Yeah.
Final statement for today.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I guess I just explained it.
I should have been a leggy.
You should have been a leggy.
I should have been a leg spin bowler.
So you reckon if you'd spent as much time developing your skills as a leggy, you would have turned out as a better leg spin bowler than you are like a pace bowler?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you basing that on? Just other than the fact that you love leggies?
Yes.
Other than that?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like I use subtle variations when I bowl seam, but not much.
Yeah.
It's more about consistency. And leg spin bowling is a lot about consistency. You want to hit the right areas. Mm-hmm. But I feel like working on those variations, in the same way that I love practicing slower balls and stuff with as a pace bowler, I reckon like as a junior, if I had like put a lot more time into working out, okay, this is exactly how I'm going to bowl a top spinner. This is exactly how I'm going to bowl a flipper, a wrong-un, a stock ball, a slider, all of these different types of balls. And then that would have felt really cool being like, oh yeah, I can do this. That's a skill. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. They're all tools in my utility belt sort of thing.
Yeah. And knowing you would look it up and you wouldn't stop until you got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been the nerd, I guess, in terms of that. Like, it's like I like technique and I like analyzing techniques and especially when it comes to sport, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, this is exactly the angle at which I should hold the ball and the angle at which it comes around and for this and for that, for getting drift and this and that. I reckon I would have, I don't know if I would have been a better cricketer, but I think I would have been a better cricketer.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a clear statement to end on.
Yeah. What's your statement?
My statement. Yeah. No, this has been quite a wholesome episode.
It has been.
This might change the mood a little bit.
Okay.
The best days of our cricketing lives are behind us. And I don't mean this from like we're past our prime.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean it more, I don't think we're really going to create any, it's getting quite dark. I don't really think we're going to create any better memories than the ones we've got already.
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of fun. Like, it's a very, very good time when we play with the pals. It's fun, and I wouldn't want to play with anyone else.
I think that's a big part of why we still play. And it's the fact that we are with, like the idea of like, oh yeah, I'll just go play for another club or whatever because it's closer. Well, with a bunch of randoms like starting fresh and everything, like that's not why I play.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. And yeah, there's still going to be a lot of good memories that come through. Of course there is.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be any better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a fair statement. It's kind of,
life.
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
Do you want to listen to that Sad Boy playlist again?
Yeah, we'll get it up.
Sad Boy Hours?
It's never too far away. We'll get it up. I do stand by the fact that was quite a wholesome episode, despite my quite. I wouldn't think it was a dark statement. Just somber.
There's nothing. It was just deep.
Yeah,
I think
I'm such a deep and complicated guy.
We love D&Ms.
Yeah,
D&Ms are always good for the soul. I think, and wholesome episodes are good for the soul too. We don't have to always just try be funny all the time. Like,
yeah, but when we do have to try there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when we're not funny, we got to make sure that we look like we're not trying to be funny.
Don't fucking expose us. Speaking of deep and wholesome, tag your mate in a comment and get him to say "Swoo."
Oh yes, yeah, right.
That was this episode, I think, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Was it?
And what is it? Talk about your first bat.
Yes, yeah. Now we want to know what your first bat was.
Yeah.
Or
just your first childhood cricket memories. The first time you got out, first time you got a wicket, whatever it is.
I wish I remembered my first wicket.
Yeah, me too. Now that I think about it, I'm like, why did I not remember my first wicket?
Yeah. I wonder if my parents would remember.
Maybe. Definitely not mine, but yeah.
Maybe. We'll have to. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll follow up with our respective parents.
Yes.
And you guys will
keep hitting sixes.